Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am so excited for this video. You guys could probably tell what it's going to be all about. It's going to be about the new Huda Beauty Remastered Rose Gold palette. Now let me just say, the Rose Gold palette, the original one, is one of my favorite palettes. The PR package here, look at how cute this is. And then it says, what you thought was love was barely a crush. So I thought I was in love with the original Rose Gold Huda Beauty palette, but looks like we just had a crush, girl. Now we about to fall in love with this new remastered palette. You pretty much just take this off
here. Oh my gosh.
There's a bunch of roses. This packaging campaign, all of this I am just living for. It is beyond gorgeous. I mean, I feel like Huda Beauty and her team have always, you know, try to be super gorgeous with their packaging, but this is like on another level. Perfection. This came in the PR kit. It is pretty much just talking about what has basically changed with the palette. So looks like it says here, the adored Rose Gold palette is coming back in completely remastered version. Inspired by Huda's groundbreaking first edition, this transformed palette features 18 luxurious talc-free shadows with smoother textures, more intensity, more pigmented shadows. The remastered palette features redesigned shades, creating a softer color harmony, and the most insane metal fondant for your lids. The new formulated metallic shadows are so blinding, which makes it every Instagrammer's dream come true. Yes, it does. The creamy molten formula allows you to apply it easily with a brush or with your finger as a final touch for a more amplified finish. And it includes here some swatches with the different skin tones, which I always appreciate. I just want to kind of go through the first original Rose Gold palette, which in my opinion, I feel like it's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful palette. Again, the shades that are up here are chunky pigments, which I loved, I enjoyed. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I did a ton of looks using this palette just because I enjoy the reds, I enjoy the mattes in here too. So I guess they reformulated the formula and made them even more smoother, even more blendable and stuff like that. This is what the new palette looks like here. Oh gosh, you guys, do you see how gorgeous this is? And then when you open the palette, the eyeshadow protector is her face. So usually I throw these away, but because this is like Huda's face, I'm like, I'm keeping this forever. It comes with a mirror, so the old one did not have a mirror. And the big difference that I see, because to me the mattes look, I don't know, to me the mattes look kind of similar to the original palette, but the foiled shadows or the shimmer shadows are the ones that look different to me just by looking at it. This is the original one here, and as you can see, the top shadows there look really chunky, and I think a lot of people were complaining because it was hard to work with these. They basically reformulated these to a much more smoother, not as chunky, but still it's gonna give you that wet foiled eyeshadow look that everyone lives for. I mean, at least I live for. I don't know. I feel like everyone should live for that. I am going to try to do the look that is on the palette. I don't know why. Like, oh my gosh, look at that. This is the makeup look that I came up with. It is more like a cut crease, so it is not exactly how hers is pictured, but I tried using some of the similar colors and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted cut crease vibes. So this is crazy, huh? This is like, I'm naked. This is like, hi, I'm here. Sandalwood shade, it's right here. And I'm kind of keeping that upper crease. I mean, we're gonna cover it with other eyeshadows here in a bit. It's just so we have a really nice seamless blend and stuff. And then I'm gonna go in with Doll Face. And then we're gonna start doing the burgundies. So the first one I'm gonna use is Man Eater. A little bit of that Risk shade too. It's like a nice plummier shade as well. And to start to sort of cut the crease, I'm going to use the black in the eyeshadow palette, the black truffle. Mattes blend really, really nice. But I feel like they did that with the first palette, but they just, whatever they do to the formula makes them do it even more. So you see how dark this black is, so you really want to be careful. This black is super more pigmented than the first one, I will say that. It's like crazy pigmented. And it's okay that it's not super, super blended, because it is a cut crease look, so. But dang, this black is legit. I don't really get that defined, like cut crease type of look. I'm just going to use a little bit of this Jouer foundation. You can use concealer as well. So I'm basically applying everywhere I want the foiled pigment to go. And then I blend it out with my finger. And I'm gonna actually add more of the man-eater because I didn't want her to really go anywhere. Okay, and so now for the fun part, we're gonna play with the foiled shadows. So the one thing I noticed with the first rose gold palette was that even wetting a brush using a stiff one, wetting it, trying to apply the shadow, it was just not going to work. So I would always use my finger. But the trick that I do is I wet my finger with Fix Plus, whatever type of makeup setting spray I have, and that makes it so much easier to apply. So I'm just going to wet my finger, and we're gonna go in first with the rose gold to apply the shadow. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And I do actually love that this formula is not as chunky as the first, but it's still like, hello, we're here. So what I did end up doing too, just to really get up into that cut crease that we're doing, is I did spray my brush, and then I did do just like the edges of it. So like the top part. Over top of that, I went in with the pink diamond, which is such a beautiful shade. I believe this one was not in the last one, so I'm gonna put this right over top. Oh my gosh, the combo of these two is so pretty. And then just because I want a little more of the man-eater to show, going in, and reapplying it here. We're just going to do the winged liner. I do want it pretty thick. And I see let the liner come through. Okay. Black in the waterline. And then for the lower lash line, I did a combo of first using the Cocoa shade, which is this shade right here. And actually I want some of the black truffle too. So I highlighted with the bubbly shade, which is this shade right here. And I wet my brush and applied this to highlight the inner corner and the brow bone, and that worked really nicely. I added these lashes. They're also from Huda Beauty. They're called Audrey. I just need to add a little bit of highlight. So to do that, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Bronze 3D highlighter palette. Shade right here, the Maldive shade, is one of my favorites. Highlight a little bit there. I'm gonna actually add this Muse shade. I have Trendsetter on, so I'm just kind of putting Muse over top. So this is the finished look now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial, but let me talk about the Rose Gold Palette Remastered. Do I love this more than the original? Yes, yes I do. And I will say the reasons why. Okay, so I do love the new remastered palette more because the pigments, I feel like now they're still foiled, but they are easier to work with since they're not as chunky. So I think everyone's gonna enjoy that. If that was something you didn't like about the first Rose Gold palette, then this is much more user-friendly. And that being said, this is my original crush. I will still use this palette. I think this palette is stunning and gorgeous as well. You can tell they reformulated the mattes as well. They're not as powdery and they are super pigmented, and there's not that much fallout or powder that is going all over the place because of the high pigmentation of these shadows. I will say Black Truffle blew me away. This black in here is completely different from the first black. The first black was just like, hi, I'm here. This one's like, hey, I'm here. Like, if you put me down, I'm not moving. So that's how pigmented this is. So you do have to kind of be more careful with this black, but I feel like for smoked out shadow looks, if you want a bomb black, like this black is everything. So I think everyone in their collection wants a really pigmented pop, just straight up black shadow, and that's what this is. Do really enjoy the new pink diamond shade, the bubbly shade. I believe these are new, and the Risk shade, which is like a plummy shade. So yeah, overall I do love these. As you can tell, for the foiled ones, you do see where you dip in there, because again, these are formulated to be like pigments and stuff like that. So that is why when you use them, when you dip your finger in them, you are gonna get some movement of the shadow. You guys know I'm obsessed with Huda Beauty products. They are some of the best products out there, and I just enjoy them so much, from their lashes to the liquid lip formula to their eyeshadows. They're all the bomb. Really quickly, let me just mention about these. They also recently launched on Huda Beauty and I believe at Sephora. These are gorgeous. If you can get your hands on these, let's say you're not trying to spend too much money on eyeshadows, you feel like you have a good collection, but you are trying to try something from Huda Beauty, I would definitely recommend the Obsessions palettes. All the original ones are gorgeous. These are stunning as well. This Coral Obsessions has a bunch of beautiful corals, as you can see, but these are pigmented, and what I love about these is that these shadows are not smaller in size. So meaning the palette itself is smaller, but each individual shadow is like, if you would have bought a bigger palette, that's basically the same amount of product you're getting. Do I make sense? And then the Gemstone one has all these beautiful purples, and I'm excited to do a look with this green here too soon. There's just no mattes in here, but this is the Gemstone palette, so it's supposed to be all shimmers, and these are stunning as well. So yeah, just thought I'd share that with you guys. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. Make sure to subscribe if you have not, and I will see you guys next time.